All right, y'all. So I am back with another Bible reading. I didn't post one yesterday or the day before, I think. Maybe I did post one the day before, but I want to post one today. I still have been reading my Bible every day. I read 2 pages yesterday, and I'm going to read 2 pages today. But I just wanted to show y'all, this is what I got going on. This is my little planner thing. It ain't really written nicely, but this is just how how I'm doing throughout the week, with mostly with my lust and working out as well. How many days I've been working out, going on walks, but it's a little bit too hot to really do any of that. I'm gonna be honest, but it's fine. So I'm doing kind of okay. This week I got 2 days where I failed. I got one day where I was good. So I'm hoping that tomorrow I can do a little bit better, and I'm hoping that tomorrow I will be, I'll feel a little bit better. But I did fail today, but I'm not going to be in a bad mood. I'm going to be in high spirits because I did my prayers and I'm happy now. I'm not going to lie, I was going through it today. I was pretty upset with myself and I was pretty depressed, but I just went down. I did an honest prayer to God, and I was talking to God for a little bit today, and I feel a lot better. I feel a lot better. I feel a lot happier, and I'm glad. I'm thankful for that, and I'm thankful that I woke up today along with my whole family and all of my friends. So, again, I messed up, but I'm not going to start hating myself because I know that leads me down a bad road. So I'm just going to continue on with today. I'm going to try to do better. I'm going to try to work on my cussing. I'm going to try to work on any lustful thoughts, anything like that. I'm going to try to do a little bit better. But for today, we are on 2 Samuel 4 to Samuel 6, page 258 to 259. Alright, sorry about that. So I'm going to start right now. And reported to David his progress with the people of Israel and Benjamin. 20 men accompanied him, and David entered. What? Oh, entertained them with a feast. As Abiorn left, he promised David, "When I get back, I will call a convention of all the people of Israel, and they will elect you as their king, as you've so long desired." So David let Abner return in safety. But just after Abner left, Joab and some of David's troops returned from a raid, bringing much loot with them. When Joab was told that Abner had just been there visiting the king and had been sent away in peace, he rushed to the king demanding, "What have you done?" "What do you mean by letting him get away? You know perfectly well that he came to spy on us and that he plans to return and attack us." Then Joab sent messengers to catch up with Abner, I don't know, and tell him to come back. They found him at the well of Syrah, and he returned with them, but David knew nothing about it. When Abner arrived at Hebron, Joab took him aside at the city gates as if to speak with him privately, and then he pulled out a dagger and killed him in revenge for the death of his brother Ashiel. When David heard about it, he declared, "I vow by the Lord that I and my people are innocent of this crime against Abner. Joab and his family are the guilty ones. May each of his children be victims of cancer, or be leopards, or be sterlen, or die of starvation, or be killed by the sword." So Joab and his brother Abishai killed Abner because of the death of their brother Ashiel at the battle of Gibeon. Then David said to all those who are with him, "Go into deep mourning for Abner and King David," accompanied by whatever that is to the ceremony. They buried Abner in Hebron, and the king and all the people wept at the graveside. "Should Abner have died like a fool?" The king lamented. "Your hands were not bound, your feet were not tied, you were murdered, the victim of a wicked plot." And all the people wept again for him. David had refused to eat anything that day. the day of the funeral, and now everyone begged him to take a bite of supper. But David vowed that he would not eat nothing until sundown. This pleased his people just as everything else he did pleased them. Thus the whole nation, both Judah and Israel, understood from David's actions that he was in no way responsible for Abner's death. And David said to his people, "A great leader and a great man has fallen today in Israel. And even though I am God's chosen king, I can do nothing with these two sons of Zeruiah. May the Lord repay wicked men for their wicked deeds." When King Ishib, whatever that is, heard about Abner's death at Hebron, he was paralyzed with fear, and his people too were badly frightened. The command of the Israeli troops, then fell to two brothers, and then it says their names, which I don't know how to pronounce, who were captains of King Ishboeth's raiding bands. They were the sons of Ramion, who was from Beorth in Benjamin. People from Beorth are counted as Benjaminites, even though they fled to Gittimo. Again, I'm sorry about not knowing how to pronounce these names still. I'm just, I'm not the best with it. Where they now live. There was a little lame grandson of King Saul's named Mephibosheth, Mephibosheth, who was the son of Prince Jonathan. He was 5 years old at the time. Saul and Jonathan were killed at the battle of Jezreel, I think that's Jezreel. When the news of the outcome of the battle reached the captain, the child's nurse grabbed him and fled, but she fell and dropped him as she was running, and he became lame. Rebecca and Banah arrived at King, whatever that is, home. One noon, as he was taking a nap, they walked into the kitchen as though to get a snack of wheat, but then snuck into his bedroom and murdered him and cut off his head, taking his head with them. They fled across the desert that night and escaped. They presented the head to David at Hebron. "Look," they exclaimed, "here's the head of whatever that is, the son of your enemy, Saul, who tried to kill you. Today the Lord has given you revenge upon Saul and upon his entire family." But David replied, "I swear by the Lord who saved me from my enemies that when someone told me Saul is dead, thinking he was bringing me good news, I killed them. That is how I rewarded him for his glad tendings, and how much more shall I do to the wicked men who kill a good man in his own house and on his bed? Shall I not demand your lives?" So David ordered his young man to kill them, and they did. They cut off their hands and feet and hanged their bodies beside the pool in Hebron. And they took whatever that name is, head, and buried it in Abner's tomb. Then representatives of all the tribes of Israel came to David at Hebron and gave him their pledge of loyalty. "We are your blood brothers," they said, "and even when Saul was our king, you were our real leader. The Lord has said that you should be the shepherd and leader of his people." So David made a contract before the Lord with the leaders of Israel there at Hebron, and they crowned him king of Israel. He had already been the king of Judah for 7 years since the age of 30. He then ruled 33 years in Jerusalem as king of both Israel and Judah, so he resigned for 40 years altogether. David now led his troops to Jerusalem to fight against the Jebusites who lived there. "You'll never come in here," they told him. "Even the blind and lame could keep you out," for they thought they were safe. But David and his troops defeated them and captured the stronghold of Zion, now called the City of David. When the insulting message from the defenders of the city reached Even the blind and the lame could conquer you. So David made the stronghold of Zion, also called the city of David, his headquarters. Then beginning at the old Milo section of the city, he built northward toward the present city Enter. So David became greater and greater, for the Lord God of heaven was with him. Then King Hiram of Tyre sent Cheddar lumber carpenters and masons to build a place for David. David now realized why the Lord had made him the king and blessed his kingdom so greatly. It was because God... So I keep getting a bunch of notifications on my phone. It was because God wanted to pour out his kindness on Israel, his chosen people. After moving from Hebron to Jerusalem, David married additional wives and concubines and had many sons and daughters. These are his children who were born at Jerusalem, and then it names a bunch of them. When the Philistines heard that David had been crowned king of Israel, they tried to capture him, but David was told that they were coming, and he went into the stronghold. The Philistines arrived and spread out across the valley of Rephaim. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Where was that? Valley of Rephaim. Then David asked the Lord, "Shall I go out and fight against them? Will you defeat them for me?" And the Lord replied, "Yes, go ahead, for I will give them to you." So David went out and fought with them at Baal-Perazim and defeated them. The Lord did it. Yeah, the Lord did it, he exclaimed. He burst through my enemies like a raging flood. So he named the place Bursting. At that time, David and his troops confiscated many idols which had been abandoned by the Philistines. But the Philistines returned and again spread out across the valley of Rephaim. When David asked the Lord what to do, he replied, "Don't make a frontal attack. Go behind them and come out by the balsam trees. When you hear a sound like marching feet in the tops of the balsam trees, attack from it. Attack, for it will signify that the Lord has prepared the way for you and will destroy them." So David did as the Lord had instructed, and destroyed the Philistines all the way from Gibeah to Gezer. Then David mobilized 30,000 special troops and led them to Baal-Judah to bring home the ark of the Lord of heaven, enthroned above the cherubim. The ark was placed upon a new cart and taken from the hillside home of Abinadab, I'm not too sure, Abinadab. It was driven by whatever that name's sons, Uzziah and Ahio. I think that's Io, not too sure. Was walking in front and was followed by David and the other leaders of Israel who were joyously waving branches and juniper trees and playing every sort of musical instrument before the Lord. Lyres, harps, tambourines, I don't know what those are. It just kind of listed a bunch of musical instruments that I don't know how to pronounce. So I think that's going to be it for now. I'm on 2 Samuel 7 to Samuel 8, page 260 to 261. And again, I'm going to try my hardest to just be better tomorrow. I'm going to try to keep making videos every single day because I want to keep waking up early. It's just hard for me to wake up and immediately get up out of my bed, so I got to work on that. But I'm going to keep trying. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying every day to get better and make some progress, which I think all of us should try to do. So if you've watched this video, thank you so much for watching. God bless all of you, and I pray that everybody in the world has an amazing and beautiful day. Peace out.